I've eaten the Pringles Dad got me the other day. I think if I recall correctly, I finished off the can of cheddar cheese Pringles last night in the first hours of today. And I went into the, this time, non-wavy barbecue Pringles because I stayed up until 5 in the morning. Woke up at around 11:30. So it was too late for me to safely go to get lunch before class. And that's what made me decide to get into the barbecue Pringles. But then after class, I decided to just solve 10 encounters, enter or solve 10 Spire encounters, collect 5 enchantment spells. Yeah. When I got to this particular text set, I believe today, I think the earlier task set required me to collect standard goods. I have the necessary copper, but I'm far from having the necessary granite. And I'm in no mood to use up any of my portal goods instance. It was pretty windy when I went out to get dinner at 7 p.m. So pretty much right before I started this video. The Lifeblood Cone. Alright. A roughly 1 in 4 chance it's not necessarily the last daily exclusive. Another 1 in 4 chance. I got a light range battalion. I'm currently investing all of my knowledge points into the Tome of Secrets. According to my knowledge, that's the only ancient wonder I know of that's currently at level 1. And it gave me a skill knowledge point. I'm going to invest all 9 into it. Excuse me, I'm now here. Although you have to be careful with the ancient wonders, because if you click on them, they have a high chance of showing the usernames of other players. Because the thing with ancient wonders is that people can invest knowledge points into them, or packs of ancient knowledge into them, and if they're the top contributor to your ancient knowledge, I mean your ancient wonder, excluding you, then I believe they'll at least get a rune for that particular ancient wonder. Although you can also get these runes from completing provinces, but the thing is, as you unlock more and more ancient wonders and build more ancient wonders, the odds of you getting a rune shard, a rune to an ancient wonder you haven't already built, decreases. I'm currently at I have 8 built, so the next set will put me at 10, and that means we'll have a 20% chance or a 1 in 5 chance at that point to get a rune to an ancient wonder I haven't already built. Then 2 in 12, 2 in 14, 2 in 16, 2 in 18, 2 in 20, 2 in 22, 2 in 24, 2 in 26, 2 in 28, 2 in 30, 2 in 32 at the very last set. In terms of the 99th Dan Hamming, in terms of making the episodes, I'm only just getting into, only just starting to understand the concept of color correction and asset grouping in terms of making these Dan Hamming episodes. I initially thought that was one of the Brussels sprouts. Right before I started filming, I think for some reason the food leaked a bit out of this container. I have no idea if it has anything to do with how windy it was today. But anyway, the teriyaki beef ended up getting on my phone. And I had to turn it off and go I took my phone out of my case, out of its case, turned it off, washed my phone by wetting a towel and then wringing it. Except I didn't wring it by stretching it out. I kind of just squeezed it. I then dried my phone with a towel. And then I basically did the same thing with the case, except in terms of the case, I just ran it under the bathroom sink water. In my national security class, we talked about conventional warfare strategy. And these are the general notes that were taken. And this is generally what appeared on the PowerPoint lecture we had that day. Apparently this is a breaded fluke. The name of that fish confused me so much. The name of the fish confused me so I asked what it was. And specifically how I found out it was a breaded fish. Though that has to do with how the fish was prepared, not specifically what fish it is, but I'm not sure I should expect the staff at Harrison, to know that. I kind of just asked that due to a confused reaction. Or maybe due to interest in the name of the fish. When I went out for lunch, I think it was less windy, but it was still windy. And there was snow powdering down. At first, I wasn't considering going to lunch, but then I saw that they had pierogies at Harrison for lunch today, and that's my for lunch. I almost entirely had pierogies. The only other thing I got was corn and a thing of yogurt. The exact flavor I got is not easy to remember. Maybe it was peach. This way of containing the milk may protect against future spillings by accidentally dropping a plastic glass of milk with the plastic lid, but this method is supposed to just be temporary while they wait for, I believe, a new order for the 2% milk from Byron Jerry, I think. This is from Upstate Farms. When I went out for lunch, I decided not to wear gloves because I think it was high 30s to low 40s. I figured that was warm enough for me to go without gloves. But of course I brought the gloves with me inside of that basket bag, which is now dirty due to the aforementioned spilling up the food out of this container. The only other thing that was in that basket bag was my phone. And that's because carrying the phone in one of my hands rather than the basket bag would have presented a much greater risk of dropping my phone. That's something I don't want to do, even though I have a screen protector in the case, because if I drop my phone, then I might damage my screen protector. And then as I don't have a supply of screen protectors, if I were to drop my phone again, then I could break my screen. Excuse me. I found that there's a lot I can deal with. Oh my goodness. 29 knowledge points? The only other thing left is to go for that last sleigh artifact, or carnival artifact. Though in retrospect, I should have seen that one coming from quite a ways away. At the end of this, I should probably be less active on this game, since I gotta build up my supplies you can keep them all safe. And that incursion to the artifact game. I'm currently on the second to last level, or the 13th level, involving the trader's attack. Which is where you battle the units you've been using throughout the entire game to fight off the Army of Darkness, of which level 12 turned out to be easier than I thought it would be, because level 12 introduced a bunch of nasty enemies, but my lightning mages and elven archers were able to easily take care of them. The traders, on the other hand, were not so easily dealt with. I finished the barbecue Pringles around 4:40 p.m. I'm currently working on today's VHL Central assignment, which I started yesterday. I'm mostly done with it, and I enjoyed watching another of those interactive grammar tutorials. I'm quite interested in the person they have as the tutor. I'm so used to the series running gags that for the one I saw today, when I saw him in the library, I expected him to be shushed for making some kind of loud noise. Yeah, but that didn't happen. Instead, he found a book on the subjunctive in terms of doubt, denial, and certainty, that sort of thing. In terms of it all, from what I can recall, if there's no subject change, the subject could be you or me, quite literally. And then it's in, use the infinitive of the verb. If they're certain, you use the indicative, because the subjunctive is used for opinions or beliefs, and hence you would use it when there is doubt in something. Not when there's certainty. This one has an 8% chance. I have no idea what the odds were in that. One 15% chance. I just need to wait for a bit more candies for. To open the next chest with the highest chance of giving the daily exclusive. Though I'm not entirely sure if I'm ultimately going to make it to that last carnival artifact. At some point I should probably as I was leaving for lunch, I noticed that VRT was back and openly available in his office, so I stopped by to get my things in order for the day desk attendant position, of which I told him he told me that he got an email telling me that I had gotten settled in with the necessary paperwork with student employment. The office for which was at Jelly Hall, and I've set up to have what will probably be a very brief training via a meeting in his office tomorrow at 5 p.m. And that's so I can be ready to be a reserve day desk attendant.